there's four asymmetrical advantages that the Republicans have that I believe contributed as much as anything to Donald Trump narrowly winning the 6 battleground states. Voter registration using technology and human-to-human contact. Get out the vote using technology and human contact. Technology in general, voter file, just the use of big data. And then the relationship with Silicon Valley, which used to be owned by Barack Obama, and now the Republicans are ascendant there. If the Democrats don't, and I don't think anybody but the DNC can do this, if the Democrats don't start to solve those problems for the midterms and then for the presidential, the Democratic nominee for president, whoever it is, whoever they're running against on the Republican side, will be at a disadvantage. And last, I'll say, most incumbent presidents in their second term, as we have now, but it's a strange one because it's non-consecutive, they don't care about building up the party. They care about their presidential library and going to summits and everything else. This Trump-Vance operation with James Blair and others, they are, and the outside groups with whom they can legally now coordinate, they are determined to consolidate the technological advantages they had and the voter registration advantages they had 4 years ago. I've never seen anything like it. And it's,
I will say this,
and the Democrats have to figure out how to confront that.
But I actually, Mark, sorry.
Dan, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
I disagree a little bit that we are woefully behind in terms of registration, GOTV, and technology. You talk to Democrats in the 2024 campaign, Mark, what they said is we reached out to our voters. We were communicating with them. They just weren't voting for us. So it wasn't a problem that we didn't know who they were.
Ask them. I understand what you're saying, and that's an important thing to say because it's true. If you ask a Democrat now, what's the balance of power, the relative balance of power between you and the Republicans on big tech for get out the vote, voter contact? They don't know because the Republicans have not opened the kimono the way people normally do when they win.
I think that the data analytics and the ability to scrape and harness public information, voter files, and then work with the campaigns, I think we are pretty darn good at that. Could it get better? I agree with you that Trump is investing in the RNC is continuing to do this at light speed.
Dan, I say with respect, how do you know how good the Democrats are compared to how good the Republicans are? How do you know?
Because I think even if, well, you talk to the Trump people, but some Republicans I have talked to would say on Senate campaigns, on House campaigns, and what they saw in some of those swing states, Democrats were as plugged in to where they needed to go. Now, between now and going forward,
I'm talking about the presidential.
Yeah, but Mark, it was all one coordinated campaign, right?
No. The most coordinated campaign of the battleground Senate races by far was Dave McCormick's, and he's the only one who won. Sean,
look, here's what I've always told people that
the Democrats were pretty good in those other states then.
Yes, but I'm talking about the presidential level.
Yeah, but Mark, we had a horrible candidate. Again, they didn't know who not to reach out to in Philadelphia.
Their candidate presided over January 6th.
Yeah, Mark, I get it. But when we reached out to blacks in Philadelphia, you know what the young men said? I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah.
So we knew who they were. We weren't lacking finding them. We just had a bad candidate.
Well, yeah, candidate quality matters. And here's the deal. Look, I've always told people the parties, well, at least the Republican Party, is like the league, right? The NFL, the MLB, meaning the goal is to make sure that you support the teams. You want a good game. You want ratings to go up. You want revenue to go up. Your goal isn't to choose sides in the message and how one team markets to and sells tickets or who pitches in the first inning. It's to make sure that the playing field is strong and level, et cetera. And that's where I think I'm just shocked that starting with basically, in my mind, Obama with OFA, where they didn't recognize the strength and the need for the party. For all the people who talk about the role of the party, frankly, if you actually understand what the RNC really does in terms of infrastructure, data, coordination, it is critical to party viability. And so the idea that the Dems have allowed that to attrit is the biggest sin politically that's committed in modern history. Because
totally agree.
Now,
Hillary Clinton felt that way in 2015.
But this is where Ken Martin has a chance to be a giant or not. And again, from the little that I see on the outside, he's failing the test.
Correct. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.